You know, I'd be lying if I said it took 2 weeks to make this video, because it most certainly did not. My work ethic isn't that bad, except for when it comes to graphing math equations. Well then, you might ask, what were you doing that extra week? Well, to be completely honest, I'm not gonna tell you right now. I had some unexpected thing come up that took a week to complete that I'll reveal whenever I get around to it, I guess. Anyways, now that I've wasted 5 minutes of your time already, let's get on to the actual video. I'd highly recommend that you go watch the first video in this series for more context, but I'll give a brief synopsis here. Basically, I'm working on a World War II fleet to be used later on in a 25v25 battle amongst you, the viewers. There, we got that out of the way. Today, I'm building the flagship of the carrier fleet, the USS Lexington, thanks to this fine viewer's suggestion. The real USS Lexington is currently a museum ship stationed in Texas and is the oldest remaining aircraft carrier in the world, according to Wikipedia. Alright, that's enough history for now. I'm not about to become a channel that reads off Wikipedia. If you're interested in learning more about the Lexington, there is a lot of cool info that I read about that you can find pretty easily. Oh yeah, I was also going to follow the couple of suggestions that said I should make a nuclear aircraft carrier, and I even added nuclear craft and everything before I realized that the Lexington is definitely not a nuclear carrier. A bit of a galaxy brain moment there. My first ship, the USS Alabama, was made to be roughly 1/2 scale, so I'm going to try to do something similar with the Lexington. The line of red blocks depicts the length of the ship so as to make constructing the frame easy. Perhaps easy is too strong of a word though. I think that slightly less infuriating would be more suited to the situation here. Hey, while I may not be the best at thinking of original things, but I am pretty decent in replication, and by replication I mean staring at an image for hours and occasionally placing a block. But if you guys enjoy watching me occasionally place blocks, then be sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. We're getting super close to 200,000 subscribers, which is pretty insane, and I really appreciate the support. Also, if you want to keep up to date on news regarding my 25v25 World War II viewer competition, and have a chance to compete, then I'd highly recommend joining the Discord server, as that is where the contestants will be picked from. Yeah, so about that 1/2 scale. Turns out it was way too small when I tried putting the planes down. It just looked ridiculous. Luckily, increasing it by 25% seems to have been sufficient, and it wasn't too difficult to do either, since all I had to do was add on to the measurements that I had already created. See kids, math is actually useful sometimes, even in video games. The game knows when I'm about to start recording, because it immediately sends a storm my direction to dump some rain on me and lower the video quality. Anyways, I've got pretty much all of the hull completed, which is the challenging part. Not as challenging though as graphing math equations. There are 4 anti-aircraft turret nests that will eventually have some of the automatic turrets that I used on the Alabama. The interior has a huge amount of room as well, although a lot of it will be taken up with a hangar for more planes. Still, it'll have a much bigger interior than the Alabama does. And more interior room means more space for additional armor and more TNT. Oh, that command bridge is looking pretty nice, and so is that runway material. Only 4 blocks of damage from a large bomb, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, if you hadn't already guessed, the Lexington will be much harder to destroy as it is the flagship, unlike the Alabama. In fact, once it's complete, I'll be putting it to the test to see just how difficult it really is to destroy at the end of the video. Also, I'm fully aware that the Lexington didn't have a slanted runway during World War II, but I'm making it with one so that's accurate to the current version of the vessel. Anyways, I've got an interior to design, let's get started. Well everyone, it's finished, and I've designed a full interior for the Lexington as well, which I'll take you on a brief tour of now. There's several command bridge areas, flight decks, things like that up in this tower, and the first level underneath the runway is mostly just hangar space, and I had a brilliant idea of putting these cool doors over here. Oh yeah, I added some minigun turrets to see if they might be effective AA guns. Back in the back is the cafeteria eating area with staircases leading down below to the engine room with several steam turbines, boilers, and tanks, similar to what I did with the Alabama, only just bigger and more of them because it's a bigger ship. At the lower level, there are some random storage areas down here, and we've got an exercise room, an infirmary, and a crew quarters as well. Toward the front of the ship is a large briefing room, and up here is a smaller meeting room, the officer quarters, and a miscellaneous mechanical room. Now that I've taken you on a tour of the interior, I'm going to save this to a structure block real fast, and then we're going to load it up with some explosives. Here we go, time for a field test. Let's see what this thing can take. After a while flying around miscellaneously bombing, I just tried hitting the same area for like 10 minutes, and it didn't have much effect. I'm thinking I may have spread the TNT and napalm pockets a little too far apart and not put enough of it in. Obviously, I don't want it to be able to be destroyed in one hit, but the secondary explosions seem a little too few and far between. Anyways, that's just tweaking I'll do in between videos, but for now, the Lexington has passed the durability test slightly too well. There is one last thing that needs doing before I can call the carrier fleet complete. I need another battleship on the other side of the Lexington. The second battleship is the USS Massachusetts, which so happens to be of the same class as the Alabama. And specifically the Massachusetts, because I unexpectedly randomly came upon where it is docked as a museum ship while traveling recently. I ended up staying in a hotel super close to it for a few days, but I only realized it was there as I left. Anyways, I anticipate one more video of building the 25v25 World War II map before starting the competition. The land base for the enemy team to oppose the carrier fleet from still needs constructing, but I'm pretty excited to be almost ready to begin the competition. Shout out to all the Patreon members. I really appreciate your support over there, helping me to continue to do what I do, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I've been Sbeev, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. Bye!